and welcome back to the Logos Corner podcast. Today I have a brother, I have a friend. His name is Rich. So, Rich man, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing great. Friday night. Had a small workout before. I
Yeah.
took my magic potion here. It's a
Your
secret
magic potion? Let me see.
from Africa. You people, if I show you, you'll start. No, it's a magic potion made of secret plants. Actually,
Yeah.
someone went to Africa actually to get me
Yo,
this.
for sure?
Yeah. The man I waited for.
Mm.
I asked this guy since winter. You have to go and get the plants from Africa. It cures the body. If you know what I'm saying.
Man, I get what you're saying. Like, yo, it's crazy, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So how
I
are you
mean,
feeling
like,
lately?
man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very good, actually. And I'm very grateful, actually, to actually be able to work in the direction of service, like of doing something that's greater than me, like something meaningful, trying to do something meaningful in this life in order to find the highest meaning. I don't know if you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying, but it's in this manner that actually a few days ago I actually got a dream. I dreamt, and then when I woke up, I dreamt something like there was a question in my dream like, is casual sex free? And I imagine, okay, what is this like? I actually, with a lot of sleepiness and everything, I actually woke up and actually wrote it down. Say, okay, I'm gonna do a podcast with this, do research, and actually try to figure out. Actually, that's a big question. Like, if you think about it, like, is casual sex really free? Like, if you think about it, it's actually a very complicated question. And most people just ignore it, or they give a specific answer to it when it's actually something that's broad. So I said, okay, I'm gonna find out. So the reason why I'm here to find out. You know, I'm finding out. That's why I'm having this conversation. I want to find out what's your what's your opinion on that subject specifically.
Um, this is it's not an easy topic. It's not an easy conversation. But
Yeah.
first, let's define before we dip even we ask we talk about anything. Let's define our variables. Let's
Mm.
define what sex is,
Mm.
what free means,
Mm. Mm.
and you said what is the topic? Sex,
Is
free,
is
and
casual is casual sex free?
yeah, casual, sex, and
Uh,
free. What does
uh,
that mean to you? So I need to make sure that our definitions are not maybe exactly aligned. Because if you say free means you don't pay money, maybe it's free. I've had sex without paying money before. So maybe sex is free. What is sex? Is
yeah.
it a kiss? Is it a look?
Uh,
Is it having penetration? Is it masturbation? Is masturbation sex?
nah,
But
yeah,
it's
that's
free,
yeah,
right?
it's free. Mm.
Watching porn is that sex? Thinking about
Mm.
sex is that sex?
Mm.
So if you define if you give me
Mm.
parameters, right, it can limit myself. But if you just say that the short answer is absolutely yes, yes, sex can be free.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to pay for it,
Mm.
and I don't know why people pay for it. Sometimes it's better to pay for it. It's easier, but in the conversation, I'll explain to you why you should not play with casual sex.
Yeah. So also when, because this I saw it as a divine actually calling. I saw it as a divine calling, actually,
Hmm.
something that actually was beckoning to my soul and to the soul of young people, because most they we live in a generation where like hedonism is placed on top, and meaning, like life of like purposeful life and meaningful living is not actually given that
Mhm.
much of importance. So you find like most young people don't have what they want to live. They don't have a vision. They don't have a mission. They don't have a purpose in life. They don't even know what the meaning of purpose and meaning means. So
Hmm.
I've seen that it's actually something to actually talk about, because even right now where we are, we're in the era where most people are not even be able, even those who have something to speak, they are not actually speaking. So we have like two problems: those who can't speak and those who don't know. And all of those don't do us any good, and don't do even those who keep quiet any good, because if you keep quiet and you have something you have to say, still you're going to have to pay. There is a price. even that which you are escaping, eventually you pay for it. But let's not go into that route. So let's you say that we define. So what do you think actually? Tell me, what do you think? What is your definition of when this topic comes to your mind? Like, is casual sex free? What do you understand? So what is casual to you? What is sex to you? What is free to you? So tell me.
Okay, I'll start with the easiest one. Free means that there's no exchange of value.
Hmm.
Free, anything that is free. For example, is oxygen free? You may say
Is
no.
what?
You may say it's oxygen that we breathe. Is it
Okay.
free?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's free, but there are some places where there's so much pollution that you have to pay for it. Actually, believe me or not, there are some countries where you have to pay for clean oxygen. This is actually true. In the hospital, right? You pay for a consultation, you pay for the oxygen. So it's air free. Maybe it's free. So free for me is when there's absolutely no exchange of value. For example, it's life free. Maybe it's free. So I don't know. It's deeper than it looks. But for the sake of the conversation, to make it simple, let's keep it simple. Yes, I will define free as when there's no exchange of value. So there's no trade.
There's no trade. So
Yeah, we're
which
not
means
trading
like,
anything.
yeah, which means you're not trading. Like, is it anything, or is it because you're not trading value? Like, in our perspective. So
Yeah,
you defined
anything
it.
when there's no exchange. Because, for example,
Mm-hmm.
if you give me a pen for a pencil,
Mm-hmm.
that pencil has a value. Has value. It's a thing, but
Yeah.
that pencil can write.
Yeah.
But the pen can write with an ink. So
Mm.
both can write. They perform similar function, but it's not exactly the same.
Mm.
So both have similar functions, right? But if you think about it, one can be sharpened, one has an ink and it can leak. For example, the marker is different. You can draw on the board. So both are doing similar things. So for me, free is when we see the absolute sense. If you say something is free, is when there's no exchange of value.
Yeah.
So if I use that definition in that sense, it means that sex is not free because we know
Yeah.
that we're exchanging something. We're exchanging time, we're exchanging energy, we're
Yeah.
exchanging our bodies, we're exchanging bacteria, we're exchanging
Mm.
viruses, we're exchanging soul ties. That's another conversation. I don't know if
Yeah.
these people are ready for this.
Man, I'm telling you. But also, what you're saying is actually true, because if you think about it, and because I've seen and I believe actually that we have a problem of how we define and how we see the world. For example, the scope to which we see the whole perspective and living and life and everything. So the through which we see meaning in everything that we do. So this is what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. I mean, like, for example, as you said, for example, you can be tricked to believe that actually sex is free when actually it's not free. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
like, as you said, it's true. We're exchanging values. I agree with you. We're exchanging something. There is that thread. But most people say, oh, no, no, man, I'll just, go have a one and come back. It's
Mm-hmm.
free. And, there is no cost. It's, and there is a pill and there is, there is condoms, there is everything. So
Mm-hmm.
why not just engage in
But
it?
let me play devil's advocate here.
Yeah,
I'm going to be the bad guy today. I don't feel like a nice guy today. I'm going to be the bad
yeah.
guy.
Tell
What
me,
if
yeah.
I tell you that by having sex, I'm going to be free?
What do you mean?
So I define sex, right? I said, okay, you just said, okay, it's exchange. I said this when we have an exchange of value. Now, my argument is that, hey, maybe the value that I get after sex supersedes the value that I pay for it. For example, if I give $2 for something, I'm giving that thing because I believe that what I get in return is higher. It's like paying for school. You pay thousands of dollars because you say to yourself, I'm investing in my education. I'm going to have a degree. I'm going to be competent and make connections. So I think to be toxic here, let me be toxic. Today's Friday night. Let's be toxic. To be toxic here,
Yeah.
I think genuinely most people believe that the pleasure, right, the fixing that they will get can get them free. I think that they're seeking for something. Before I used to see that behavior as very like an absence of discipline, a lack of self-esteem. But it's more than that. I actually believe that people who use or trade things are seeking for freedom, but they don't know where. But remember, you mentioned hedonism. The idea of hedonism is that we constantly seek pleasure to free ourselves from what we don't know, but we know that we have to free ourselves. We just know, we know it. We know somewhere that we could do better, and we get that high. We drink, we party, we have sex. So my argument is that maybe a lot of them think that by having sex, they will get something that can free them, at least in the moment. And that freedom, right? The value exchange of value, what they get may be higher from what they put in.
So that's
That is the
interesting. I'm saying
yeah.
that's
So for
interesting. Like,
example, a guy will risk everything, his
uh-huh.
future for 10 minutes of pleasure. You can say it's
You,
stupid, but
hmm,
a guy will risk his family, his wife and kids
hmm.
for 10 minutes of pleasure. I mean,
So it,
he's crazy, but he thinks that in the moment that thing can free him. He can free and then he loses everything.
so you mean it's like in 10 minutes of hell?
Good. Good. Yeah, it's good. But we can talk about it.
Yeah.
We can talk
So
about it.
so for example, like what you've said actually is something that I can relate with. Is that I believe actually most people do actually are seeking for freedom, because actually it's true, because I was reading, like in research of actually this book, I was actually reading some of the philosophers, and who actually thought of had something to say about uh like sex, or the expression of sex, because I've seen like most defined, for example, I would quote, for example, these two these two, like these two great people. One is actually Carl Jung. So for him, he's a psychologist. I'm not a psychologist for any case, but for him, he had this thing of libido. So he was saying that sex is actually a representation or an act that is expressed through libido. So libido, one form of expression of libido is sex. So sex is a form of expression of libido. So when you actually dig deeper, you see that actually what sex represents is what you're saying in this sense, is that it's actually the freeing, that sense of actually something that you want, that it's out there, but you don't know what it is you want freedom from. And you know that you are having something that in some sense like transcends
Mm.
your suffering, or something that you're actually in right now. So, for example, you have something that you are passing through, and you think, actually, this is true, that having that 5-10 minutes in hell of pleasure will actually save you. I'm telling you, because you've seen like these young people, or like everyone these days is online. They are looking for TikTok. You see someone is depressed, they just go on TikTok, they just go on Pornhub, they just go on these sites.
Mm-hmm.
There is something that's wrong in their life, and they know,
Mm-hmm.
but they are not willing to find out, and they are not
Mm-hmm.
doing anything. And
Why?
they see
Why don't
why
you want to
that
find out?
why don't they? Because I can say this. It's because I believe that it's hard. It's a hard truth. For example, I was reading this story of Socrates and this lady. I don't remember the lady's name specifically, but the story was that Socrates, this lady, he was she was like a those people who can actually tell you vision, and like
Huh?
I don't know how they call them, psychic mediums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what happened with Socrates and this lady is that this lady told Socrates that you are the smartest man in Greece. You are the most wise in Greece. Then Socrates said, "No, I don't believe you. I will prove you wrong. That you are not what you say you are. That you actually a liar." Then Socrates said he went actually in Greece to actually find out. So he was the dumbest. And you know what he found out when I was reading his story? He said that I found out the reason actually the woman was right, because Socrates was the only person in Greece who was smart enough to acknowledge his ignorance, and that made him very smart. So you see what
Uh-huh.
I'm meaning here is that people think that they know. That's the problem. For example,
Mm.
I came across this this doctor is called McGee Chris. So he brought this theory. It's in neuroscience. So he said that the brain, he actually has a theory. He wrote that the brain, there's this called the divide brain theory. So you have the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere in your
Mm-hmm.
brain. So what he said, how actually what he discovered, he's saying something like this, like your left hemisphere of the brain is actually not what you think it is. It's actually that which will tell you, you know. So you have like a perception of the world, like in the like what you know, you know. For example, the beliefs that you have, the way you understand
Mm-hmm.
the world, your current limitation always come from the left hemisphere. Then the right hemisphere part is actually very, very, very interesting. So for it, it's not like the left. The left will tell you, you know. For example, if I bring a topic like this, you say, "Oh, I know, and I believe that this is true, and I'm not going to change." You are dumb because you're saying this.
Mm-hmm.
So now the right is very different. So the right sees the world as a whole. So it's the part that actually experiences the spirit of awe when it gets in art. For example, when you see a very beautiful drawing and you'd be amazed, that's the right hemisphere. If you see something like a music, a track, and you don't know why you like it. For example, if I ask you why do you like certain song, you won't be able to tell me why. You tell me, there is something about that song that you won't be able to express it through language, because this is the thing that most people don't know, and this is the claim actually I found of these postmodern people. So what they say is that everything is language and language is everything. But I beg to differ. It's a very wrong view of the world, because if you look at it, there are some things that you can't explain in words. For example, if you look even in the Bible course, you say how God expressed himself to Moses. He says, I am who I am. So you see, even the whole thing is that I am, like I am and is who I am. So even language in itself can't actually define what is that spirit that transcends. So it's the same thing as I was saying, is that we fell in this trap. The right can see the whole world in a kind of open manner that it doesn't know, and can see the connections of things that can actually you might not know yet. But most people fall in this trap of actually saying that they know. So they are not aware of their ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you bring something like a topic, and as you say, like people are not subjective, they're not like objective, to actually say, okay, what is this context? What is this person trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you bring something out of the blue, it can mean different things. For example, a small text can mean 1,000 meanings from different perspectives. If I come and say, okay, what did someone mean here? You
Mm-hmm.
will tell me, I think he meant like this. That's why the great works, for example, if you read the Bible, everyone has their own, it's one book, but everyone has their own interpretation. It's the same with great philosophers. You read Nietzsche, you read all these great people, but you find that they all share one thing. When you read their works from different angles, you see something different. It's not something that's presupposed and it's standard, because
I'm
the
a bit
world is not
lost
that
here.
way.
I'm a bit lost. Stay with me.
Mm,
What are you trying
mm.
to say? I mean, you've lost me. What
Okay,
are you
so
trying to say when it comes to ignorance and sex? I'm a bit lost.
okay,
What are you
so
trying to
this is
say?
the thing. This is the thing I'm trying to say, is that we don't know, and how what we are escaping from, and we are not willing to find out because you're scared of what you might find,
Okay.
and that
So it
terrifies
looks
us.
it looks like you're saying that we know that something is lacking. We will
Yeah.
refuse to acknowledge that absence of knowledge because we know that in searching of that knowledge, we're going to get scared and terrified and anxious. Therefore, we seek more pleasure and we think that seeking more pleasure would fix something.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I think, by the way, because I
No,
might be
no,
wrong.
it's a
I
valid
might be
point.
wrong. Mm,
Um, what if I told you, now I have another bad news for you. What if I
tell
told
me,
you that there's no freedom?
what do you mean actually? What do you mean that
Meaning,
there's no freedom? Mm,
okay, I don't know if I can say certain things here. You know me, there's certain things that I'm careful of saying because I don't
yeah.
know my audience, but freedom in this realm doesn't exist. Because if we're free, there's no point to be alive.
Mhm.
It doesn't exist. That's why we have what we call balance and fluidity. That's
Mm,
why we have polarity.
mm,
Freedom, meaning the absence of, if you want to call it the absence of pain or having everything
mm,
organized, does
mm,
not exist. It cannot exist because it breaks every law, even spiritual laws. You need
mm,
to be in conflict. You need to be in trouble. You need to have problems. And it's the fixing of that problem, it's the
mm,
journey
mm,
that makes life meaningful.
mm. But for
And,
example,
mhm.
okay, continue.
No, no, I'm done. Just meaning. I think basically
Mm,
what I'm trying to say is Israel.
mm,
Imagine you discover that truth. Okay, imagine you read all the books.
mm,
Right, I have read books.
mm,
I read books. I went to conferences, and I'm not even close to it.
mm,
And I came to one conclusion. I'm not like this guy. I came to the same conclusion of Solomon.
mm,
One day in summer, last summer, I remember I was sitting in my car. I started crying. I was sad. I was not sad of sorrow, okay? I was not mad. I was just sad of. It's like you're trying to run out under a wheel and think that you'll get there. Everything is meaningless. You've studied, you can go, including sex. Again, when you say is sex free, and I said, what if sex bring you freedom? I'm
mm,
already on the next step saying that that freedom that you
mhm,
think that sex will give you,
mhm.
it will not give you that freedom. Because freedom itself on this realm does not exist. As long as you're alive, it cannot exist. And I'm going to finish on one thing. If you let everything stay still, imagine you don't have sex. Let's assume you don't do anything, but you're a sexual being. Everything about you is sex. Everything about you is sex. Even
Mm,
electricity has sex.
mm.
It has positive and negative. That's sex.
Yeah, yeah.
Sex is only okay. Let me define sex for you. You would
Mm-hmm.
have asked. Sex is a transfer of energy to create
Mm.
life. I just
To
define
create
sex.
life.
Very
Yeah.
simple. That's my best
Mm,
definition. Today, sex is
mm,
a transfer of
mm,
energy to
mm,
create another form of energy. That's why we need sex. That's
mm,
why no matter how happy you are, the
mm.
moment that lady passes on the street, you don't need to look at her. Your spirit will catch her. You'll be like, Chai.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't have to do anything about it. But your
Mm,
spirit always wants to dive inside her. I know I'm very careful with my words here.
mm,
You want to dive all the time. And you think that, oh, you want to have sex with her, like physical sex. No, you're trying to dive in that energy. You want to exchange that energy because we need feminine energy. And feminine energy needs masculine energy. Back to the law of polarity. So that's the thing. We cannot be free from it. Even Socrates, he had the same, even a monk has the same desires that you have, man.
mm.
He has just a state of consciousness where he decides not to act on it. As long as we're in this flesh, we have, because that's life itself. You are the result of sex. All of us. Even we see, there's the law. You read that book, right? The Kabbalion,
Mm.
the book I told you to read. The
Yeah.
last hermetic principle, the
Mm.
law of gender.
The love
Everything
gender.
has gender. You were talking about the left and the right pole. It's
Mm.
everywhere. You probably know I study neuroscience, right? So I'm a bit
Mm.
versed with that.
Mm.
Electricity has gender. They actually make love. Positive and negative attract. Electrostatic force everywhere. Uh, Even your mind,
Mm.
the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. You have to impress an idea. You told me about a dream. Where does
Mm.
that dream come from? So the subconscious mind just influence your conscious mind. But you could
Mm.
say, wait, without your conscious mind, you can have access to the subconscious mind. That's why you need the sex, you guys. So your mind made love. So you were banging to make this
Yeah.
podcast. So now
Yeah.
if you tell me,
Mm-hmm.
wait, you guys just had sex, that was sex
Mm.
right there. And
Mm.
sex produces podcast. So
Yeah.
now if you tell me sex free and we should stop having sex, there's no
Mm.
podcast.
Yeah.
In your
That's true.
mind, they eat,
Mm.
the me and the eat.
Mm.
The I and
Mm.
the me is separate. The mother we call mother nature, and we say
Mm.
Father God. In every we just see this thing about nature. If you travel, you go to the forest, you're in awe when you see the trees. Go one day to the forest. Like deep, deep. I've been once. I've been
Mm.
deep by myself. It's scary. I've heard noises that I cannot describe here. You
But
go
why?
deep. Yeah, go
Why
ahead.
is it that? Why is it that people? What you think is actually interesting. Why is it that people say something like Mother Nature, something about nurturing? Something about something that nurtures is given a feminine temperament. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
because it's self-evident. When someone, for example,
Mm,
questions themselves, when people question themselves about
mm,
higher things,
mm.
okay, again, back to the law of correspondence. As
Yeah.
above, so below, as below, so as above,
So
so
about
above. So
yeah.
it means we know it. We plant something into the soil, right? Let's say seed, oranges. You penetrate the soil, right? The seed, you penetrate her, if I can express myself. Again, here's not, I'm not talking about gender in the
Mm,
low sense that we know, like male. I'm talking about in terms of energy. So the seed, the source of energy,
mm.
you inseminate her and she incubates and she produces a tree. So even animals they know it. Even animals they bury their food sometimes to protect it. So is mother the, as you said, is that the right word? I don't know. But we all know that there's this thing above. I know I'm digressing from the original talk conversation. We're gonna get back
Mm.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
But we
sure.
know in our minds that there's this higher thing.
That you're trying to approach. Sometimes we
Yeah,
want to
we know
approach
it.
in
We
some
know it.
sense,
We
but we can't
know
define
it.
it.
We cannot define it. We know it.
Yeah.
In fact, if we, this is the thing, the topic that we talk about the most.
Mm.
Do we believe or we don't believe? I will even argue that all the wars in the world are conflicts of beliefs and religion.
Yeah, that's actually true. Because if you think about it, the best argument for existence of God is not does God exist, but what's there when God is not there. Same as what you just
Mm-hmm.
said. God is dead, and we have killed him. You see, he was not
Mm-hmm.
meaning like if you remove what is represented as God, what happens? It's chaos. It's mass
Mm-hmm.
murder. You saw World War I, World War II. You see what happens when you praise God.
You
The
want to talk
gulags.
about that? We should go back to the original
No,
topic
no, no.
because
Let's go to
this is a
the.
crazy because if know me. Okay, let's be disciplined here. Let's be for people listening. It can be a bit
Hmm.
distracting.
Yeah,
So your question was
it's
is
casual sex.
sex is casual sex free?
Yeah.
The short answer is very evident. Is no.
Mm.
There's no such
Mm.
thing as freedom.
Yeah.
That's it. So basically, I counteracted my
Mm.
own argument saying that
Mm.
if someone says I'm going to feel happy and get
Mm.
freedom from sex, my argument against that counter argument that I
Mm.
gave myself is that wait,
Mm.
freedom doesn't exist in this realm.
Mm.
You're bound to it. There's a law that I'll share with you. The
Mm.
law of entropy.
Mm.
Is if you've studied science, you know entropy. Entropy is a measure of disorder in the universe. So basically, if everything being equal, things go bad. You don't need to do anything. For example, if you leave your room empty for a month, spider webs will start growing. Why they from? If you don't take a shower after some time, bacteria grow when you're on your body. If you don't manage something, things go wrong. Relationships, if you don't care for them, they self destruct. If you don't communicate, things go wrong. So entropy is always there to remind us that we need to have sex. Meaning we need to always come and try to come together. I know I'm playing with words here. You always
Yeah.
need to come to come.
Mm.
You always need to, that's I actually like this. You always need to come
To
together.
come. Yeah.
It's important. So you can
Yeah.
overcome. You crazy.
Yeah.
So that you need to always bring things together to make things make sense. And I think in this chaos that we're trying to understand called life, I love sex in every aspect of it. I embrace it, and I want to finish on this. But I think sex, because it's the highest, is the most powerful form of energy.
Mm.
We still need
Be
to be
conscious.
mindful. Yeah, mindful and
But
understand it.
let me bring something to your attention. Why do you
Mhm.
think actually in the society like sex is labeled as bad thing, even religiously? For those religious people, they label it as bad. Like the culture part labels it, and people are not taught. For example, most people are not taught actually what is sex. we are told it's just a penetration. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When it's more than that, as we've discovered so far, we've seen that it's exchange of energy.
Mhm.
So we are not told that actually to express also, for example, if you do something, let's say you're working hard, you're doing a business, why do you actually work? I like think about it. Most of the time, you go and say, okay, you want attention of that guy. Let's be serious. I'm telling you, man. Like you
Mhm.
want quality people in your life, be it a woman or a man. You want to exchange energy with the best. So you're
Mhm.
looking for the best mate, not in this sense of meaning
Mhm.
like you're looking for. That's why I understand personally.
Mhm. Okay,
So
let's open and very interesting though. I'm
yeah.
so passionate about
Hmm.
understanding, especially understanding male sexual energy.
Hmm.
Something that I've always been fascinated about. Why can a man will kill for sex? I'm the first to admit it. Men kill for sex.
You're actually right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you want to see a man go and sleep with his wife, a man will kill you and his wife. If you think
Uh,
about it.
and it's actually true because it's establishment of authority. This is my
Mm.
boundary. This is who I am.
Now, here's what I discovered. It's a
Hmm.
paradox.
Yeah, tell me. I'm
Sexual
excited.
sexual energy. Okay, let me talk about men. Let me focus on men a little bit because that's what I know and
Hmm.
I've studied a little bit. Okay, a man equals sex. Full stop. What is a man? A man is sex.
Hmm.
The men meaning men, male and female. We are sex. We're bundles of sex. But the male man, the masculine man, the man who has a net masculine energy, because females also have masculine energy, they have a net desire to get to the female. Now, when that energy, what we call masculine energy, we talked about this a few times, equals sexual energy, equals creative energy. Let me say that again. Masculine energy equals sexual energy equals
Yeah.
creative energy. It's the same thing.
Hmm.
Now, here's the paradox. The men, us, we have all these masculine energies, this creative energy in us. And we want to get into the female all the time. But the problem is, now this is where it gets crazy. The more you solely seek to get into the female, the more you lose yourself because you are sex. Remember? By the way, I'm going to write about this one day.
Hmm.
The paradox of sex. Here's the paradox. The same thing that makes you mad when in sex,
Hmm.
the same thing that gives you drive. Yeah, that
Hmm.
drive that you have to go to work, we call that sexual energy. The drive that you have to go to the gym and push, to conquer, to penetrate, to fuck the world. Sorry for my
Hmm.
language. We
It's
call
true.
that sex. Now, here's the paradox. If you indulge in that in a very selfish way, in a very self centered, low vibrational state, you lose your sexual essence, which is yourself. That
How?
is why. How?
Hmm.
Well, it was very simple. Remember, I said,
Energy transferable?
no. If imagine you, I said you are sex. You
Hmm.
are sex. You are sexual energy. You are born.
Yeah.
We are actually energy. By the way. By the way,
Yeah.
we are energy. For example, I'll give you an example. You meet someone, man or woman, and you feel a vibe. They didn't do anything to you. They didn't say anything to you. Have you ever
Hmm.
been to some place? You meet someone, and you just feel good in their presence. You don't speak the same language.
Yeah.
No word was said, but you feel good. So your energy aligns with your energy.
So which means energy is vibration. Same in physics. Like we
Yeah,
can take
yeah.
this
Energy
physics.
has vibration. Yeah.
So yeah. So
So if you
the
take, yeah, energy has
mm,
vibration and energy
mhm.
has frequencies. When people say I
So
don't like
we
his vibe, it's actually true. People have vibes. People have different frequencies.
because
You
some
should pay
like
attention.
we which means that we are attuned to other people's frequencies, especially to those which are outside of our own like current presupposition or current state.
Yeah, I would say more that
Mm.
the good news is that we vibrate
Mm-hmm.
at different frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
But some people can raise their vibration or their energy. I can tell you how later.
Mm.
But now, when you meet someone, you can, if you're patient, you can feel your energy, you can feel their vibration if you pay attention. So now we are vibrations, we are energy. So back to what I was saying, if as a man you indulge in sex and you try to give yourself to sex, and I've done it for the sole purpose of satisfying your selfish low vibrational need. So
Just to tell,
basically, imagine
just
your yeah, go ahead.
no, continue, continue.
Imagine you're in a certain vibration and you lower your vibration consciously to eat junk. I'm using a metaphor here. You eating junk. What happens is that you're going to fall sick. And I've been there. You do something,
Mm.
you don't feel the pleasure no more because it doesn't satisfy your soul. And you know it. And we call that abuse. You're sexually abusing yourself. You molested yourself. You're an abuser. You've raped yourself. Because you know you're violating your conscience, your body, and your soul. Because a man of that vibration should engage with higher vibration. It's like a dance. You only engage in vibrations that are higher than yours. This is important. Wait, let me charge this. In vibrations that are higher than your
Mm.
own vibration.
So, which means that the reason why you might be attracted to something that looks appealing to you, that which you can't actually explain why. It's like sometimes you're attracted to something and you don't know why. So, which means that thing might have the vibration that actually you want to attain, something that you might be inspiring to go to. In this case, is like because of this is something I'm drawing from what you're saying. You can just let me know. I think from what you say is I can understand like because we are vibrational beings and we actually have
Mhm.
energy. So which means that which we find attractive is that which we think is equal or better than us in some sense that we want to attain them to actually achieve the higher self. I don't know if I'm clear on that.
No, break it down a little bit.
So this is what I'm saying. Let's not just make it about sex just to actually understand this. For example, if you are to look, for example, at great art, like for example, a very beautiful work of art. Let's say, for example, a good drawing from someone, then there is that attractiveness that pulls you in, and you
Hmm.
wonder who was this artist. Like there is something that's not normal, and you want to attain it, and you can, which brings admiration. So, which means you always admire those things that brings the spirit of being shocked, in some sense, like that. Those things that shock you. For example, look, I found myself being attracted to those girls. I'm not saying like women are actually better than me in some sense. I'm saying like who are so beautiful. I'm meaning something like beauty, because beauty transcends language. If you want to
Hmm.
explain beauty, for example, beauty itself, if you see a beautiful woman, there is that beauty. You can't just explain it in just simple words. You use just beauty because beauty is a representation that you will know that is beautiful. But what you find beautiful is not what I found beautiful, and how you define it might be different from me. So, and
I,
they find
actually,
that we.
before you keep going, I'm just interested. What do you
uh,
find beautiful? I've never asked actually. I've known you for a bit. Expose yourself.
Man,
Expose yourself. Come
I'm
and
telling you.
I've never asked you what with words. I know it's difficult. You said what
hmm,
do you find beautiful
I'm telling you,
in a
like
woman? Let's start physically. Let's start physically. Things that you can explain.
I think they are the better signs of better being a being able to actually produce and be able to nurture like and produce like healthy, um kids in this
How
sense.
do you
For
know that
example,
by seeing someone? How do you
the
what are
fertility.
the
I'm saying
traits?
like the fertility sign, the fertility traits. For example, you look the um hips to what is it?
Waist?
Waist to hip ratio. Yeah, most of the time
How
there
do you
this sub.
calculate? You have a calculator in your eye or
I'm
what?
telling you, I don't like. I'm telling you these cues. Like I was
Okay,
reading,
okay.
I was reading this book. I was reading this book. It's called A Billion Wicked Thoughts. So they were
Mhm.
actually analyzing the behavior and the like the psychology behind attractiveness and those things that we find appealing. And the funny part, they found that all the research they did, male actually, they will say that they will look, for example, at pharas. That's what they will see. But most people are conscious to seeing the pharas, but what they're looking at is not actually the pharas. They're looking for
Mhm.
that waist to hip ratio because they found that if you show them women with certain waist to hip ratio, they won't know actually with a certain calculator, but that's what they'll be looking for, even if they don't know. So, which
Uh-huh.
brings a sign of fertility, producing
Okay.
healthy kids. So that's what we are looking at subconsciously. Those are the cues. You're looking at healthy
But you
women.
specifically, you say you're a guy who likes what type of like be specific, man. You're speaking in tongues, man. Stop the BS, man. What do you mean? Like hip weight to hip ratio? You're talking about subconscious stuff.
Yeah, because you see,
Do you
if you
like tall
actually
girls,
ask
short
me,
girls, girls with small waists, gym girls, slim girls?
man, I'm telling you, it's
Or
beyond.
you like everything? You recycle everything. You
No, no,
take
no.
everything.
I don't, I don't take everything. But this is the thing, actually. That's a very hard question. I've actually never go. I'm telling
Yes,
you,
you do. You do.
it's
You
a
take
very
everything.
no, not that, not that. I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
like it's a very
Mm-hmm.
hard question. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm telling you straight, it's a very hard question to answer because you asked me. Actually, I never thought of that. And from what I can see, is that I'm not attracted to something that's physical. I was trying to make sense of the physical part of it. But when I try to make the physical part of it, I can't say it's tall because I found myself being attracted to short. I can't say it's the fattest because I've been with those
Okay,
who don't have.
before even let's just have fun. Let's just have fun a little bit. Okay, before you even get to that level, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I believe that beauty I enters from the eyes. You see the
Mm-hmm.
person first,
Mm-hmm.
and then after you get to know them, you see how they treat people, etc. Right? No.
Mm-hmm.
One of my question is, we all have those things that we find personally was sensitive to us. For example, I've seen women that I'm not usually attracted to, per se, but I find
Mm-hmm.
them very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But the women that I know that 9 times out of 10 I'm going to find attractive, I know how they look. Not saying that I have a type, but I know how they look,
Mm-hmm. So how do they
right?
look? How do they look for you? Tell me like a
I
typical
know
girl.
you go first. I know what you're
No,
trying to do. You want
no,
to flip it. You go first. You don't want people to know, so that women will start calling your number. Eh?
no.
If you
I'm
play with me,
telling
I'll
you.
leak your number. I'll leak your number on Facebook.
No. I'm telling you. Actually, it's I'm like as you asked me. Actually, I've never actually got time to think about it because it's something that I can't explain. Like personally, I can't say I have this type, but I will just meet this person. For example, of course, you'll be attracted to the eye, and they might not actually be as sexually appealing as you want them to be or as you thought them to be, but you still feel like something about their beauty attracting you, you know?
It's true. It's true. And would you
Yeah,
say
you see,
what do you
this
think is
is,
that thing? Oh,
yeah,
why would you say that
that's
thing?
the thing I'm trying to make sense right now, and I'm not finding the right word with it. I can just give it a word like beauty, but I don't know because it's something like an artistic form of manifestation. Something about, man, because if you think about beauty, man, beauty is so interesting because I can't define it. I'm telling you, I know there is something that attracts me to actually be able to stare at that which I find very beautiful, but I will not explain it in my own words. It's hard. I know it's there, but I can't explain it in my words.
Hmm.
You see what I'm
Man,
getting at? Like,
you
it's.
know our conversations are always how can I say it? Because now
Mm-hmm,
I've asked myself those questions. So you're
mm,
right. I understand what
mm,
you're trying to say. Meaning,
mm,
you meet someone,
mm,
And you may think, like your brain may think,
Mm.
wait, but why am I feeling this pull towards this person?
Yeah.
Like, for example, okay, you asked me what type of women I like. I've
Mm.
noticed, man, I like normal girls.
What do you mean no more?
I like women sometimes who don't consider themselves very attractive.
Mm.
I just like normal people. Like people who are just normal, regular people. People who have normal jobs.
Uh,
Okay,
but why?
uh,
What?
normal body weight.
Mm.
Meaning that they don't look like the standards we see on social media.
Photoshop.
Yeah, all
Ah, the
those.
fake.
Yeah,
Ah, I
I've
see.
noticed I just like people who are normal. They have flaws. They have nappy hair.
Mm.
Do you understand? Normal people like me
They're
and
real.
you.
Like
Yeah,
the best word is
like
real.
yeah.
Real
You see,
people.
like, the more someone usually for me, especially tries to
Mm.
look like someone else or do too much,
Mm.
whether it's with makeup or stuff, it's almost like it's not appealing to me. Like dress normally. Don't do too much.
Mm.
Like okay, let me put it this way:
Mm.
when women see me, they think that I will like those type of women,
Mm.
but they're surprised that I just like normal women, and I
Mm.
find normal very beautiful. Don't get me wrong. There are some women that are very attractive that I've approached. I've had stuff with women that people will find very
Mm.
attractive, but
Yeah.
to me, they had nothing exceptional apart from having a pretty symmetrical face. If you think about it, physical beauty is just symmetry of the face.
Yeah.
But I should
No,
say
and
is
the
the way you move.
symmetry of the body.
Yeah, like whatever.
Mm.
It's also cultural, that cultural implication. African men don't like what Western men like.
Mm.
Chinese men like the same thing that men from Brazil like.
But I
Cultural. So
think
there's a
it's
cultural there's a
culture.
cultural
Yeah.
effect there.
Yeah. True. And the women are also not the same because you see they have different futures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's I think it's something about what are you saying? It's a culture issue. That's what I think personally because we tend not to like same. We might have where we intersect. For example, we will always want something that's better,
Mm-hmm.
not always below the standard. But this is the funny part I've seen. For example, men want a girl who is better or the same level as them. But now
Men.
this men. No, I'm saying
Okay.
like generally they want a girl who's better than them or on the
Mm-hmm.
same level. Hear me out. Now, women will actually no. It's the other way. It's the other way.
Thank
So
you. I was about to
it's
say,
the
wait,
other
this
way.
guy, you smoke,
It's
you
the
smoke,
other way.
you,
No.
you
It's
smoke
the other
shisha.
way. No. It's the other way. Like women, they want men who are better or the same level as them. Then guys will get same level or below. Why? Most. And I'm not saying everyone. Most. Because it's the
Hmm.
reality. Those that you'd want, for example, look at this. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
guys can relate to this. Actually, those girls that people want don't get. But you get the one who is I don't wanna use I wanna like there is this word like that you don't like you find okay, that one there is nothing special. You find
Mm-hmm.
those that you find nothing special with them, you get them. But those who you want, you don't get. I'm not saying to everyone.
Actually, you're asking
Mm,
a very complicated question, man. Like
mm.
we
But why
can
is
spend.
that? Because
Okay,
the
okay.
mm,
I'll give you my what I think, and I've tried it. I like to play. Okay, I like to do
mm,
social experiments. For example,
mm,
tonight, probably what I do
mm,
sometimes, you see,
mm,
I go out, I dress well. You know me sometimes. Like I
mm,
wear perfume, nice,
mm,
look good,
mm,
everything.
mm,
And I just observe people.
mm,
The more you treat people like they're normal, the more they see that they're normal. For example,
mm,
did you know that most very attractive women don't get approached by a lot of guys? They want to get approached, but they don't get
mm.
approached because most men think that they have a lot of attention. Therefore, there's no point even trying. So men were very rational. We're like, when we see a girl, usually we're like, can I handle this girl? You know what I'm saying? Can I do something with this guy? And if you think it's too much, she's out of my league. I had made too many guys with her. That's
Mm.
men. That's men. Women, he's better than me. Therefore, let me shoot my shot. That he will add something to me. So in my experience, I think when I started approaching women like people, not like goddesses, you just approach her like, see, man, she's just like you. She have insecurities just like you, man.
Mm.
She has doubts. She's not perfect. And usually she has needs too. The same thing that you want, she wants that too.
Yeah.
But they're just very good at hiding it and faking it and lying about it. So my experience is it's okay to let me put I'll open something. I don't know why it came to my mind. It's okay to like what you like, but also as men, we need to understand that we cannot have everything. It took me some time. You can be the richest guy. When you say better, you can have money, go to the gym, be 6 foot 9 inch, whatever, have sex for 10 hours. She'll leave you for a lesser guy, for a guy who is 5 foot 2.
That's actually harsh reality. It's true.
What is my point? My point is that I started just accepting to choose people who choose you, especially when it comes to women. This for men. If men are listening, listen.
Mm.
You don't choose a woman. It's the one who chooses you.
That's true.
This is game.
Psychological and evolutionally, that's true.
Men, we think that we can. I see videos how to pick up girls. I'm just like in real life, we
That's not
don't pick
true.
up people. We don't. Man,
They pick
I've
you.
seen videos of people. It's good. You can present yourself in a way that will make you more appealing. Money will give you more attention. Blah 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 blah. You will attract the wrong type of girls. By the way, be careful.
Mm.
The one money attracts the wrong type of people around you. Anyways, but people, a lot of men think that you can make a woman love you. Remember this.
Mm.
There's nothing. I repeat. There's
Mm.
nothing that you can do to make a woman love you. When you understand that, you'll find peace when it comes to your interaction with women. A man is like a rock. All you have to do, you show interest. You stop there. Be comfortable rejection. I've been so rejected by even women that sometimes I play around. Okay, let me just give an example. Let's say a woman is for the fact of an argument. She said two. Okay, she said two, two.
I wonder who is the two.
I'm just playing around. I'm just like, hey, okay, I just wanna. You
Eh.
talk to her, and then she does you shakara. You're like, who is this? Inside, you're like, are you thinking that I'll even give you the time of my day?
Mm.
But she will still reject you. She didn't choose you. Dating 101 for men or how to interact with men. It's very simple. The only thing you have to do, show your value, express your interest with being polite and respectful. Stop there. Don't slide in DMs. When she says no, like disappear. Act like she's dead. Master the art of abandonment. I've been so rejected so much that literally it's still gonna zip sometimes. Ugh. Ouch. It hurts to be rejected. It still hurts, but I've been rejected so many times. And now when you get to a certain level of rejection, you turn to what they call the bad boy. Meaning it's not like you're bad, it means you don't care about rejection. Now you start approaching people as if they also have something to lose and they will have something to gain, and you don't force things. I promise you, man, Israel. You know me, I don't have social media, sliding DMs is not my thing. Talking to girls, they come to you, and among the women who choose you, you choose who you want to choose. Now, this is the game. But we got to reverse. Men think that you can watch videos online, wear perfume, dress well, go
And
to the gym,
they
get
are
muscles
popular
for 10 years.
actually. They are
And yeah,
popular.
how to get girls, how they take courses. People take courses, how
Mm-mm.
to approach women, and they're stopping them as they're going to work. What is that? Are you, man? That's like creepy stuff. Oh, they how to talk to her. They look creepy, man. Relax, relax. Just be yourself. Learn to be confident. Women are just human beings. Don't lead with your sexual energy. Calm it down. I know you want to calm it down. The woman will choose, and when a woman chooses you, bro, it's obvious like water. If you
Even the
don't
birds will know.
if you don't know, it means that she
Yeah.
doesn't choose you. In
Yeah.
fact, she will even tell you, no matter how shy she will tell you. She will call you. Yeah, women are very aggressive when they want you. They will text back. They don't take 24 hours to text. A woman who texts you after 24 hours, this is what you do. Nothing. You're interested in a woman, everything goes well, and then she ghosts you. She wants to play mind games. This is what you do. This, especially for young guys, 25 and below. People don't have a lot of experience with women, eh? This is what you do. If it hurts a little bit, spend some time at the gym. Go and carry weight. Put that frustration. Go, hit the PR at the gym. You go to your phone, you delete her number, and you block it. That's it. And don't be angry. Don't question your quality as a man. People have the right to choose you, and they also have the right to reject you.
That's
And
actually
the,
catch
and the thing
normal.
with men,
Mm-hmm.
I have the same problem. I used to have the same problem. I've gotten better. I used to feel bad rejecting women. Yeah, I didn't feel bad. Men usually were nice. Men are nice, man. I promise
Yeah,
you.
true, true, true.
Women
What you're
have
saying is
no
true.
problem telling you who you want to know who you are. Ask a woman,
Mm.
she will tell you.
Mm.
A man will never tell the truth to because he's afraid to hurt her feelings. So I've learned now to reject women gracefully. Don't put her down. Don't insult her. She shot her shot. You don't like it? Just be honest. I appreciate it, with a smile. Thanks, miss, but I'm not give you what you want right now. God bless you. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
kind. You're polite. The same way you would like to be rejected. Reject her. No, be honest. Don't lead her on. Don't do that. Don't use her body. Don't do that. It's not good. But I've learned one of my biggest lessons when it came to women. Accept that you cannot seduce, you will not impress. Not all women, you're not a cup of tea. There are some women they see me, they're indifferent in my presence. The other women they see me, I've had women they go cuckoo.
Mm.
They start like taking pictures of me, trying to touch my beard. I'm like, whoa, you see me too much. What is this? Relax, man.
Because I've
Men
seen
need to learn to calm down.
yeah, what you're saying is true because this thing actually frustrates me. Part of me is that when I'm seeing lots of young people actually be scammed all over the globe and all over the internet, seeing that because I've seen that. Do you know actually 80% of the traffic on the internet usually it's porn related traffic.
Uh-huh.
It's actually anything related to porn. So I've seen like there is this lie because I think like the biggest lie of actually the world we live in is denying your sexual energy first. Second is lose your meaning, lose your purpose, lose your vision, lose becoming who you want, that freedom that you want to seek, leave attaining it. Then what you
Uh-huh.
need to do, engage in cheap pleasures. Then
Uh-huh.
you have meaning. Then you are okay. So the less this is the right way to say it. The less harnessed or the less detached you are from your essence of energy, the better you are. So
Uh-huh.
which means that the higher in agreeableness you are, the nicer that you want to, because people think that being nice will make you, it's about morals. Like being nice will make you be successful in the world, because most young people want to be good people. They want to be the best. They want to support. They want to actually make a difference in the world. But what the biggest lie is that the world is not a nice place. Like, let's be real. Like for example, the world is not a nice place. There are those things that will terrify us. The world is
Oh.
so bad. Bad things happen in the world. And the strength is not actually in denying that there is no bad thing in the world and being nice and feeling good and enjoying in much pleasurable and be like, calming yourself down thinking that I just do more pleasure, then it's okay. I'm gonna numb it down. Like you take some alcohol, you go and have some sex in the club, you just want to live your life, just want to forget through hedonism. But the thing is that I've seen that the biggest lie is that masculinity, no, not even masculinity itself, is that ambition is a bad thing in the world we live in right now. It's ambition. Ambition is labeled as something bad. So the more you try to harness your sexual energy in a productive manner, being the best and actually serve, not just to take. So for example, this is the thing I don't like about this energy, this cheap casual sex um form, is that it's most people engage in it, not casual sex is bad. Most people engage in it in a cheap manner of taking. So
Yeah.
they just want to take. They don't want to give. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, for example, you engage in that casual sex and there is a price. Whatever you do, there is a price for it. Let's say, for example, you end up giving this woman a kid. Then
Mm-hmm.
most people, they will just say no, they won't take responsibilities for their own action they did. So which means, okay, you what you wanted, you got it. So buddy, there is a price to pay. And there is
Mm-hmm.
consequences for your action. So you gotta,
Mm-hmm.
what you gonna do? You gotta run away. That's what most young people do. They run away or they talk to these young girls to actually abort, which is a very bad thing to do. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm meaning? So then that energy that's placed in the wrong place. For example, the spirit of ambition is placed in the wrong place. Then most young men don't find happiness because they are not finding mission and purpose because they are only taking. They have a wrong perception of meaning and purpose, which is actually
Man,
giving.
man, Israel, you know the problem with us?
Yeah.
We have a lot of things to say. Right now, there's at least seven topics that we've mixed together.
Man, seven
I'm
topics.
not lost. I'm following you, but
Yeah.
there are so many doors that I can open now, and I will not open them because we're going
Mm.
to sleep here. We're going to sleep on Sunday. I know
Yeah.
me.
Uh,
So choose a topic again and let's stick to it. Choose something we want to talk about. Choose something and let's
yeah.
stick to it because we may distract people who are listening to us. I know, man. I have a
Yeah.
lot. You know my mind, man. I
Yeah.
have a lot of things to say. We want to talk about purpose and men. We want to talk about women.
Mm.
And if you want to talk about hedonism, you want to talk about ambition, you want to talk about sex,
Mm.
you want to talk about culture. Let's stick to it first, and then we can dive in. But always let's stick to the topic
Yeah,
because
we
this
find
topic are
ourselves.
so exciting. I know you're
That
tempted.
yeah, I'm telling you, like the more the more, because this is the thing about this kind of speech is that if you are smart enough, you start learning how ignorant you are, how stupid you are, and if you are very humble enough, you will acknowledge that, then be willing to learn. For example, look at
Uh-huh.
what we're doing right now. For example, it's the same thing. Like I have something, and the more we discuss it, the other doors will open, and the more we want
Hmm.
to cover more, cover more, cover
Yeah.
more, then you end up lost.
Um, I have a theory. Okay, actually,
Yeah.
I don't think did I tell you theory.
Mm.
I believe when it comes to knowledge and learning, real learning never ends.
Mm.
How have you known you've learned? It's very simple. You have to feel that you're more back, you're more behind than where you started. That's how you've learned.
That's how I feel these days, man. I ain't gonna lie
So
to you.
meaning that's why I use Solomon, meaning you read books, you do this. You're gonna. I don't know if you get that. You do this, and then you realize, wait, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Knowledge is better
Mm.
than darkness. Okay, no
Mm.
one is better than not knowing anything. Okay, you're good. You open the book, please.
Mm.
But the more you open books,
Mm.
the more you feel sad. I think we spoke about this one day in the car. The more you, I'm warning you, one day you're gonna get so much knowledge, and then this sadness that will come into your heart. And it's not like you want to kill yourself. You're just sad because you're gonna start knowing things that most people don't know, and you start seeing them around you. You're gonna start seeing them. Who's calling me? Wait, this smells good. You're gonna start. I apologize. Someone is trying to call me. You're gonna
Mm.
start seeing things around you, and you understand. You have some understanding of it, and then you realize how much you live in ignorance and how much people around you are ignorant and you don't know what to do.
And that's actually true because sometimes there's this sense of I've seen those people who cry like they don't have anything to just cry. They see something, they just cry because it's too much. Like because I've seen like the more the more I find the truth. Because this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to find the truth. We're trying to learn, finding the truth. Then you find the more you get closer to the truth, the more you get
The more
frustrated.
you feel far from it,
Yeah,
the
and the
more
more you
you
become very stupid. Like I'm
yeah,
telling
the
you,
more you
this.
become crazy. I'm telling you.
Uh,
I'm not saying I don't like to speak to seem
mm,
bold or boast. No, I don't like to boast. Right? It's not what I'm doing here. The more you
mm,
learn,
mm,
the more you ask yourself, wait, am I the only person seeing this?
mm,
Do people don't know this? They really like sometimes I've been in places where I feel like I'm a spirit. It's like no one can see what I see. And I'm seeing it. I promise you, Israel. I can see things. I can measure
mm.
it. I can explain it. But no one's it's like they're sleeping. And now you start seeing certain things. Remember one day I was telling you about when I was telling you Leviathan, your demons?
Yeah.
You start seeing the darkness inside you. Try it. I'll give you a small experiment, spiritual experiment. You
Mm,
want to grow
mm,
spiritually? Let me tell you
mm,
how. Very simple. One simple, it works all the time. Every
mm.
region practices it. Learn to meditate in a quiet space. No distraction, no music, by yourself in your room. You're going to start seeing things that you're going to run one day from your room. You're going to start hearing yourself speak. You're going to hear things and it will freak you out. And when you start seeing that, you grow spiritually and you realize that a lot of people, including you before, were sleeping. You start learning. I don't want to, there's certain things I cannot say in this because we're live.
Mm.
I don't know who is listening. But I told you, man, there's certain things I can never say
No,
in public
I,
anyhow.
I agree with you because I
But because
was. Mm,
there's some books I'm telling you that even you I cannot tell you to read. It
mm,
can literally make you into, it can change your heart. There's some books that if I give you, you want to go in the mountains and just and don't live no more, eat meat and
bring those books actually.
yeah, when you're not ready. When you be ready, I'll give them to you. You're not ready, my friend.
Bring those books, bring those knowledge. Let's check on it. Let's get
You see, this is the thing with knowledge. Remember, I told you you'll be sad. You see someone studying, you'll be sad. And the worries is that you will see things. Remember when you were talking about crying? You start crying because you start seeing things.
mm,
You're gonna have access to knowledge that this is what is spiritual, Israel. This what is not physical. Even in physics, that's what we call the metaphysics in between.
mm.
Or almost even science is discovering that phenomena is not just it's not that rigid. That things are a bit strange. Phenomena that are bizarre. It's like you cannot explain it. And even when you use quantum chemistry to explain why do electrons react to emotions? What the heck? Think about it. Electrons reacting to emotions. Like this is crazy, you know?
Because that's actually very, very crazy. But let's not open other door. Let's go back
Yeah,
to our
you
thing.
know, me. You
Let's go back.
see,
Let's go back. Yeah, because we're gonna talk about how things are very, and people won't relate. So they just go back. So we're talking about energy transferable, low energy. So you say something interesting about when people engaging in cheap activities that lower their vibrations to something. So you're saying that
mm-hmm,
it's transferring of energy and that people are
mm-hmm.
engaging in low activities. So, what are those activities that make people have low vibrational state that can make casual sex dangerous? Or, you know,
Well, that is I think you shouldn't see it as either or. Okay, I think
mm,
it's
mm,
not a question of oh this makes you feel like this makes you feel like that. For
mm,
example, sex can higher your vibration.
mm,
In essence, that's the goal of sex, by the way. Remember, I told you sex is the transfer of energy to create more life.
yeah,
So sex is not bad. It's nothing is wrong with sex. It's just like water. Water is good. Water is life. Water can kill you. Water is a very powerful force. Okay, it's so powerful that you provide electricity can kill you. So I don't I don't think we should look at this as, oh, you do this, it makes you go high, you do this, it makes you go low. It's more of, are you doing this in knowledge of, does this align with your true highest purpose as a person?
Hmm.
For example, if having a lot of girlfriends, if you, for example, Israel, let's say you have 5 girlfriends.
Yeah, that's too much, man.
Honestly,
That's too
if
much.
having 5 girlfriends help you
Yeah.
as a man
Yeah.
and it aligns with your true higher purpose, please have them.
Like Solomon, 1,000. Let's let's go. The guy was very smart, and you know what he ended up? He ended up making an analogy on women and on life. He had everything you ever wished for. Man,
Mhm.
some men won't even recognize. Who can have 1,000 wives? That's too much, man. Think about it. It's too much.
Someone could have, someone could have. If
It's too
you
much. Hmm.
smoking ganja
Hmm.
truly, honestly
Hmm.
connects you with your highest, deepest purpose, smoke all the ganja. Basically, my what I'm trying to say is that it's very difficult for me to tell you what really aligns with your
Hmm.
true highest purpose. However,
Hmm.
there are certain things usually that strengthen your mind and make you better as a person. Just like exercise. Exercise can hurt you really, really bad. I'm an athlete. I've been an athlete for a bit. I have torn my partial tear, my quad. I
Hmm.
dislocated my shoulder not a long time ago.
Hmm.
My hamstring, my toes. As any athlete, doesn't mean that we shouldn't exercise. No, right? So the same thing that make you stronger can destroy you. This is what I was talking about, the balance. So it's not about this is good, this is good. It's more about, because I'm seeking strength, I am willing to risk what just happened. I dislocated my shoulder. And I'll go back. And guess what? Accidents will happen again. I'm ready to risk getting punched in the face so that I can learn how to punch you in the face more. It's a
Yeah.
balance. Nothing, you
Yeah.
remember? Nothing's. I'm willing to risk. I'm willing to pay something. I'm willing to get. There's no one who improves without pain. So I think it's not just a matter of this makes you higher or good. It's more in my true self. I need to exert myself. This makes me. This is my thing. This makes me who I am, and I need that to be who I am. Therefore, I keep doing it, even with the injury. Even if I had one hand, I would still exercise. Even if I didn't have a gym, I don't need a gym. I don't need motivation. I don't need music. I don't need, you don't care. Winter, spring, summer, I'll find a way. Even in jail, even in paradise, if I was an angel, I would be doing push ups and sit ups. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but there are some things that, however, I think make you, they make you better as a person, no matter where you are. And one of them is meditation, learning how to be comfortable in your own presence. I think this is something that is very difficult. Israel is very, very difficult. There's a guy who said, I read this, I read this something, I read this somewhere, he said, most of the problems in this world come from our inability to sit alone quietly in a room. You have a problem, Israel? Disconnect. I give you 2 days, you'll find a solution. I'll tell you, you cannot stay quietly for 10 minutes. Try. It's very difficult. Quietly.
Yeah,
Even your
because
mind will start thinking. You're going to start thinking about try meditation
it's
is for
very hard.
grown-ups.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
very
hard.
so
Yeah.
meditation is one of them, meaning you focus, you practice focus. Isolation. You can have a lot of people, your friends. Learn to be by yourself. Learn master the art of solitude. Learn to appreciate your own energy. Learn to know your own energy. Know your flaws, know your triggers. I know my triggers now. Like meaning I know things that so I don't put myself in those situations. I know my strengths. I know things that on this world put 1,000 men probably they'll not be better in that area than me. It takes time. I wrote down so many things and the same things keep coming up. Write your triggers, how you feel, put your fears, and it's okay to have them. So the thing is, when you're trying to not engage in cheap sex, the victory is not escaping from the cheap sex because you need the sex. Sex is you. The victory is engaging in sex in a way that aligns with, again with your true deepest purpose as a man. And most men, from what I've seen, having 5, 10 girlfriends, I've done it before, fucking around, having sex, usually does not satisfy your true deepest purpose as a man. I've yet to find someone who will tell me I have 10 girlfriends I'm entertaining and I'm doing exactly what I have to do as a man. I never met someone like that.
But I think it's the other trap of the trap of not looking inside to what you are trying to escape. So you're trying to
Mhm.
satisfy something. So you're looking for something. You might not know what you're looking for, but if you find it and you're willing to look well enough, you might find it. And I think it's in us, as you say, it's sitting down and meditation.
What if, basically,
Hmm.
I think the real freedom is not in finding. The real
It's in
freedom is
mastering.
the real freedom is in the quest.
Yeah. In
That's
the
it.
quest.
Because if you find it, there's no more purpose.
Yeah. I, I think what you're saying is actually true because if I think of it in an archetypal sense, I can
Mm-hmm.
say, for example, you see the meaning of Christ. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, this is something from Jung. Like, if you look at the Christ's quest, it's the quest of becoming whole. One,
Mm-hmm.
the self becoming whole. So that's the journey, and the
Mm-hmm.
journey. So the goal was not the sweet point, but the sweet point was the process into
Mm-hmm.
one's to go through the darkest places. And you see, Christ goes to hell. No, he dies first, which is horrible. And not death as necessary. He needs to go to hell and conquer hell and come back. So you see, that's if you think about it in like this is what actually I like Jung specifically is that he is analyzing this for example these narratives in the Bible and everything through an archetypal sense, through a symbolism. He's looking at them as symbols. So if you look at
Mm-hmm.
it, actually, the process of one becoming whole requires you to yourself to die, recognize how weak you are, and die. And you need to go to hell and master hell. So the hell is that place that you don't want to sit. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing bad and very hurtful than sitting and listening to your own thoughts. Man, I'm telling you, when I started
I'm telling you,
meditation,
I have run. I'm not joking. I ran outside of my room many times before, but
yeah,
now
mm,
I think I've grown spiritually. Now when I hear them, they irritate me. I can even sometimes like I can take them,
mm,
hold them. Like I can take them, look at them,
mm,
analyze them. Yeah, analyze mean where are you from? Why am I thinking like this? We call that metacognition, thinking about thinking. So what you're thinking about, you think about it. Why am I thinking like
mm,
this? Where does it come from?
mm.
Do I think like that all the time? You can even change it. I've tried it. You can actually change what you think. You
But
can
it's hard.
it's just like going to the gym. You
Yeah.
can change yourself. You can look like you are new before you've changed yourself, and you're going to change again. So it's the same thing. So it's
Change.
true. And now, this the bad news I have for you is that it never ends, and this is the quest of life. For example, imagine you conquer, and then boom, there's no more quest. Christ left. He said everything's accomplished. He had nothing to do already. He came to save if you believe in Christ. Boom, he
Hmm.
came. He did what he had to do. Bounce. He's bouncing. He had nothing to do here. So
Yeah.
the moment you stop growing, you die.
So the moment that
You
you don't
have
have a
to die.
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, exactly. It's the quest.
Yeah.
If
So
you
that
stop
quest.
growing, you stop
Mm,
living, and you're living for your purpose. The
mm.
moment there's no more purpose, you die.
And
And
that's
by death is not just physical death. It's like everything dies inside you because you're not living. And now that's what you see what you like, the word you like, degeneracy.
mm.
Meaning you don't even you become. I like to see degeneracy like an electron on steroids. Even electrons have a purpose. Did you know that?
I didn't know.
Oh, seriously? I kid you
Mm.
not. Electrons is like that. Electrons have a purpose. Cells have a purpose. Even your sperm cell, they know where they're going.
They
They're
know
not just
actually. If you
going.
think about it, they just
Yeah,
swim and they go
electrons,
there.
they know what they're doing. They're attracted. There's a force in every
Mm,
atom. And there's a specific distance between a nucleus and an orbital. It's an energy, and it's an energy that you need to take that electron from that atom.
mm,
Everything has purpose. I have on my wall here, purpose over everything.
mm.
Purpose even comes before me. Meaning if I live without purpose, my life is worthless.
But
There's no
now, don't you
point.
believe? Don't you believe that there is that as shallow purpose and deep purpose? Same with pleasures.
Mhm.
There is deep pleasures and there is shallow pleasures. And the link I can make between these two is that if you are willing to follow and do the deepest purpose, you will find the deepest pleasures.
If you're willing to find the deepest purpose, you find
Then
the
through
deepest
that,
pleasure.
you're gonna find the deepest pleasure. Because think about it.
But
We
it's,
have
it's because the way you're speaking
Mhm,
seems like the pleasure is
mhm.
the ultimate source.
No, that's not my point. My point
Because
is
you
that
said if you find the deepest purpose, you find the
Mhm.
deepest pleasure, right?
No, what I'm saying, if you have the deepest purpose and you, to the quest of finding that deepest purpose, then you're gonna find the deepest meaning, which will bring the deepest pleasure. Because pleasure is not bad
Mm-hmm.
if you think about it. Because why do you do everything? Even purpose itself, it's it's all about finding meaning. And when you find meaning, what happens? You make impact. When you make impact, what does that become? Life becomes interesting and life
I
becomes good.
totally disagree. I'll tell you why.
How?
Let me give you a very good example.
Hmm.
Imagine you have a belief, a strong belief. You believe that your purpose on earth, I'll take a very bad example, okay? Your purpose on earth is to kill all the young babies in your neighborhood. You
But
believe it.
that's no,
No,
that's a
like
very
no,
shallow purpose.
I know. Wait, no, no. Who are you to judge his purpose?
It's very
That's
shallow.
his purpose. No, that's his purpose.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell me your purpose now. I could laugh at it. I'm like, I can tell you my purpose now. You're like, really? Purpose is personal. That's why I said your deepest real purpose.
But my point
Purpose.
was,
hmm
continue.
Purpose can transcend my. The reason why I don't like the pleasure thing.
Mm,
Purpose goes beyond life.
mm-hmm,
Purpose goes beyond ourselves. Real purpose, Israel,
mm,
is not about you. It's about something that was here before you
hmm.
and something that will be here after you.
Yeah.
Meaning it has nothing to do with how you feel or with fulfillment or with getting something out of it. Meaning if I do my purpose, really, whether I'm fulfilled or I'm feeling good, that is not the point. When you think you were talking about Jesus, think when he was dying on the cross and he was crying, he was like, "Oh yeah, oh I'm doing my purpose. Oh, thank you, Lord." If you look, boy, in the book of Matthew,
Mm.
He asked God, "Hey, look, if you can take this away from me, man." And he was crying tears of bloody tears. It means that this guy was like, "I'm not enjoying this. This is not pleasurable. There's no pleasure there, my friend." And now, but he says, "Wait, let it be your will, not mine." So will or purpose transcends us. That's why I think purpose it goes beyond my own life. I mean, that's why you see some people. That's why they gave the example of people who kill people because of their beliefs. They'll go and kill people. They'll kill even themselves. You think that they're happy to kill themselves? No, they're like, it's my duty.
I have to
Do you
do it.
understand? For to them is I have to die for this, and this is why I'm going to quote Miles Monroe. He
Mm.
used to say, "Purpose is not what you live for. Purpose is what you're ready to die for." I love that definition. It has nothing to do with you. It's not about
But
you or how you feel.
mm, I agree. I agree with that. I agree with purpose because I received my purpose and it's in part to what actually I'm doing, even though what I'm doing is actually a small part of it. But I
Mhm.
believe through all the purposes, how they can be, they share a unifying narrative, which is to stand for that which is true.
Mhm. How do
Not
you know?
in a
How do you know you discover your purpose? How do you know?
oh, how do I know? Because I didn't give it to myself. How can I give the purpose to myself?
But how do you know that? For example,
Mm,
if I give you $2, and I say,
mm,
"Hey, this $2 is your purpose,"
mm,
you may agree or you may disagree. My
mm,
question is, even if it was not given to you by
mm,
whom or by what,
mm.
that's not the issue. How do you know that is your purpose?
Okay, now this is actually very interesting. I like the way this is going. So, like, I was interested in the story of Moses. You know, Moses is a very interesting figure in the Bible. So now you have
Mhm.
Moses born as a child of the Jews in a very hard time when they are in
Mhm.
Exodus. They are not like they are in tyranny and they're being enslaved.
Mhm.
Then this is something interesting about Moses. Moses kills an Egyptian. Then he fleds.
Mhm.
Then when he has fled, God comes to Moses. Then what does God do? God appears to Moses in a burning bush.
Okay.
Then and when God appears, Moses responds. Moses comes actually close to God because he saw a burning bush. Then he came. Then God told him, the first thing he told him, remove your shoes because you're standing on the holy ground. So there is, let's think this in an archetypal sense. Like there is those things that actually do call to you and they are unique to you and they actually speak and
To you.
if to you and they beacon to you. And if you are attuned enough to receive them, then and you take a step, then they will become clear to you. So purpose, I used to think it's a very and actually it is a very complicated thing. But this is the funny part I've seen. The moment that you find it and the moment that you are on the road and actually the road to discover it, when you find it, the more funny you find that how stupid was I? Like how isn't it self-reflective? But it isn't because
Let me ask you a difficult question.
Mhm.
For example, let's go. Actually, let's talk about the Bible. Let's talk about the Bible.
Mm.
There was a disciple of Jesus. He loved Jesus.
Mm.
Just told him, "You're going to betray me."
Peter, eh,
Okay, it's a me.
uh,
Me.
uh,
Ah, me. Come on, man. I'm no guy. I'm not going to do that.
mm,
He even told him when. He even told his precision. He said,
mm,
you betray me." Guess what? He did that. Judas, God knew it. God knew that he knew it.
mm,
What I'm trying to say is, we're talking about humility.
mm,
Ask for wisdom
mm,
because life will test you. Like for it will happen. I'm telling you,
mm.
purpose has a price.
It's true, but
Purpose can be given, as you said, it can be simple,
mhm,
but purpose has a price because because okay, purpose is so big and it's bigger than you, than
mhm,
your own life, than my own life. Okay,
mhm,
and it's so big that there needs to be resistance. It transcends generations. It is your reason of existence, and it goes beyond you, beyond your
Mm.
family. Usually, purpose goes beyond your family. Now, the reason why there has to be resistance is because it's so big that you're gonna, just like Moses, right? You trying to destroy certain things, mesh certain things, but you're trying to disrupt the universe, just like a paper. Now, resistance will come towards you, and they will test you. And when you be tested, sometimes, the thing that you have to give will be your own life. That's why I said, don't answer too fast. And I'm going to finish on this. I think this is the biggest problem that we have in this generation, especially in young men. You said that at the beginning. Is even the thought of it, not even thinking about it, not even imagining and using what you call casual sex to find it, to find that thing, that freedom. And I think right now there's a big confusion. I call that the big confusion, especially in young men. And it's not just young men, even older men. Wisdom doesn't come with age, my friend. You're gonna meet people who have white hair, white, all white. I've met people all white, bro. Even ask them where they're going in life. Even ask them what do you want to do in the next 5 years. They don't even know. Even a goal, like you have a goal for your gym. I know you go for the gym. Then they don't even have a goal. He's
Just
54 years
surviving,
old
surviving, surviving. They're
because
not
again,
living.
because it's uncomfortable and
Yeah,
it's
like a
lonely.
purpose.
How
Yeah.
do you know me? I'll give you the signs, and if you look at
Mm.
people in history, in the Bible and religion, even in mythical stories, people usually live in their purpose are misunderstood. They cannot understand you. That's when you know that you find your purpose.
Yeah,
I should
exactly.
not understand you. When you're talking, I should be looking at you. Even me, I should be like,
Mm.
because it's unique to you. How can I understand it? It's unique
You
to you.
can,
Your real purpose,
yeah.
purpose is not, oh, I'm going to do this. No, it has never been done. It will
Mm-hmm.
never. Do you understand how? It is you. It is tailored to you, to your DNA. No one on
Mm.
this earth will have your DNA. That
Mm.
is purpose.
Mm.
Purpose is the reason of your existence. Now,
But now, if
how do you
you,
know you discovered it? You
mm,
should not make sense. You should be like wind. We should
mm,
hear you.
mm-hmm.
Vroom, cannot
Mm.
seize you. People should be always feel like, who is wrong with this guy? And the more you try to fit in, the more your purpose will call you back. That's when you discover your purpose.
The
And
more
the
you
only
try to,
place, the more you try to fit in,
mm,
the more you try to do podcasts to explain to people,
mm,
the more you try to read book, the more you
mm,
try to do drawings. Guys, this is the more they're going to start seeing you crazy. If you
mm,
look carefully, that's why people men of purpose usually they die young.
mm,
The world wants to vomit you. Usually, usually some die old, but usually the world will reject you. Another thing is rejection. How do you know you have a purpose? You'll be rejected heavily. You don't understand. Usually by your own family members. They have to say you're crazy. Just like Jesus, just like Moses. They're lonely people. They're not lonely because they try to. They love people. That's why they're doing their purpose. So for people. But these same people want to crucify him. Crucify. Crucify. Lapidate him. The same people that you've helped, they'll try to lapidate you. That's how you know you find your purpose. So the more you live it, the more you dwell in it, the more you feel like you're withdrawn from others. It's not like you want to or you trying to play the mysterious guy. No, you're just. It's like, ugh. So that's how you know it. So knowing your purpose, no, oh, I saw it, I wrote this. No, there's no evidence. This is not. This is just belief. You think
Mm,
you will know. You find your purpose
mm,
when people that you've known will start
mm,
calling you crazy. When you start crying for no reason, when you start seeing things, because only you can believe it. You can share your vision. Some people can believe your vision, but the purpose, the true purpose, was given to you. For example, I'll open you a mystery. This is so interesting. Very interesting. This is so interesting. I believe that most men have not discovered their purpose and they will never discover it. It sucks. The truth is,
mm,
Israel,
mm.
most people will never discover their purpose. You know
But
why
it's
they
true.
cannot?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard. Just to discover it. I'm not even taking experience in it. It
Mm,
is freaking hard. If you look at the imagery of, for example, of Jesus, 40 days in the desert, no drinking. He's the Son of God. By the way, go back. Since the book of Isaiah, we know about him. He even told him a virgin shall be born. The people knew it. The mage came and we knew this guy was born. He even knew he was at 12 years old. He said, don't you know that I have to take care of my father's business? He knew that he was sent on this world. So he knew the purpose. He did nothing. At 30 years old, he get baptized. John the Baptist. John the Baptist says, guys, this is the guy. Huh? So even his name means savior. Like basically everything about him was showing him. But purpose doesn't care about people in the sense of them abandoning you. I'll give an example. You meet your wife, your woman or whatever, your best friend, whatever. She has to be so sure that you're living your purpose that with or without her, it does not matter. This will hurt you. That's when you know you're in your purpose. Someone says they want to leave you. You open the door. You're crying, but you're like, please go. So your purpose is bigger than you. You want to go to Paris. Your purpose says stay in Canada. You stay in Canada. You have the money to go and shop. Your purpose says go left. You cannot. If you try to go left, you suffer from it because you're abusing yourself.
Jonah.
So when I was asking you, how do you know your purpose? I think
Mm,
you may have found it. You call that finding it. You may
mm.
have found it, but you don't know yet. Life has to test you, and one of them is rejection, abandonment, and just like what happened, betrayal. People will break your heart. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna go through things that will break your heart. Now, that purpose will be tested. Are you gonna stay true? So you have to be
But
so confident in being by yourself that they follow you not because they want to follow you, but because they like the fact that you don't care about being by yourself. Like Jesus and the disciples, they had thousands and then 70 stayed. He never called them. A man of purpose doesn't call people. And in 12 stayed. He asked them, "Well, guys, you don't want to go? Why are you here?" They said, "You have the words of life. Where shall we go?" He said, "Oh, okay." So literally people will stay in your life by revelation. That is a man of purpose. That's why I believe that most people, especially men, will never find that purpose because they like hedonism, they like pleasure.
because I've seen, for example, one of the revelations I got, for example, when I was when I started like transforming the podcast, so before it was about masculinity and everything. So when I try to make it, to transform it in alignment to what I'm supposed to do, in
Mm-hmm,
alignment to what I'm supposed to do, is that I found something very interesting. Is that now people, you find
mm-hmm,
two people, those who will call you crazy and those who will try to come after you. telling you and calling you all the bad names you know in the world, or you have
Mm-hmm.
those people who will come in your life whom you didn't know and whom you may not have known, and they're gonna add something to you to make that purpose be fulfilled. Because if it depends on you alone, it's not I call it the deepest purpose.
That now you've opened a very, very, very interesting thing. It's good. It
Mm,
means you're learning. It's
mm,
good. I can tell you're
mm,
learning.
mm,
That's why it's so bigger than you. You will not
mm.
accomplish your purpose by yourself.
Yeah. So you
You
need
cannot.
people
That's why I
to
say
come
it's
up.
bigger. Like when you understand that it's not about you.
Mm.
When you
You
understand that
relax,
it's
man.
not about you.
You
No,
relax.
you relax, but at the same time you will take it
Mm,
seriously. Because if you
mm,
mess up, a lot of
mhm.
people will suffer also.
Yeah, that's true.
So meaning it's not even about you suffering. That's
Mm,
why I say pleasure is not the thing. If you fail or you, or I don't like to use the word fail. If you don't respect it,
mm,
the multitude will suffer. Imagine again, by the story of Jesus. Imagine just say, guys, once you crucify him, it's like, okay, God,
mm,
I like you, yeah, but this thing, man, I know fit done. Let me go and do my thing. Because it has happened in the Bible. I can give you so many
mm,
examples. Jonas,
mm.
he said he left, and Nineveh, he went to Tarsus. Give you so
He
many
has to go to
examples.
hell. He has to go to hell.
I can give you so many examples.
Yeah, because it's true. Because if you speak, for example, if you have something to say
Mhm,
and you keep quiet and you don't speak it, people think that it's gonna be okay. Because think about it, most people lie psychologically to just escape
mhm,
the and try to manipulate the near future. They want to manipulate now, thinking that the future will be good. But now, this is the funny part that comes. Things will never be the same. You lie, you hurt your conscience. Then you reach a place where you could have depended on your consciousness, but it's so corrupt that you can't depend on it anymore. So, which means you have changed who you are. So, this is the thing. You see someone who is a killer, or someone who does something bad, or someone who
mhm,
is into hedonism. The power is in not judging that person. The power is saying, I am that person also. I am that guy.
mhm,
The power is in knowing that you are the same person who is capable in good and bad, and you can do wrong. And if you're not
mhm.
humble enough to recognize how wrong you can be or how stupid you are, then you're gonna be living a very bad life. I promise you.
Man, I'm
This
telling
is
you,
this
man,
is the
this,
truth.
this this thing of purpose, man.
Eh,
I don't like because hey, maybe I didn't tell you. I am obsessed with purpose.
yeah,
I can
me
talk
too.
about
Cause
this. I can talk about this for uh once I understood, man,
mm,
purpose is more important than my own life. Nothing else matters. Purpose. I feel like what you were saying when you said words sometimes do not explain meaning. When I even
yeah,
hear the word purpose,
language is not everything.
it doesn't have the weight that I can explain. It's almost like money is something that is bigger than life. It's not drive. It's not even in a deeper. It
Mm,
is the essence of why we're here. And even if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in anything. If you don't have that in you, you will suffer from it.
no, think about
When
it.
you
If you don't have
when
what drives you, you die.
Mhm,
It's straight. If you don't live for anything, you die.
mhm,
Look at depressed people. People just commit suicide like that. Something is wrong
mhm,
with their life and the way they are pressing their hierarchies and how they depend and derive their meaning in life. Then they see life as meaningless. Then they decide to take their own lives.
mhm.
So it's a
So,
very hard thing to do.
mm, man, the purpose thing. Sometimes I used to not even sleep. I'm telling you, it's a very I'm giving you small clues. You will
Mm,
know if it's really your purpose
mm,
when the world will vomit you. And it's not that I'm
mm.
vomiting you because I hate it, no, or that I have problems. It's because you're just living something that is not normal, something that is difficult. That's why wasn't cool with people. It's not because he was holy. He just was a nice person. He used to eat with prostitutes. In fact, the people of the temple used to judge him. Why are you eating with prostitutes and people of bad life?
Mm.
Jesus was a nice guy. Imagine now you go and live with people who are drug dealers, you shake hand, prostitutes. You're a nice person. You in fact want to meet people. So you'll be rejected and you'll not understand why. And they reject you not because they don't like you. It's because you're in a path that is very difficult, that is strange to them. That's when you will know. Remember this is not by basically purpose is not even about what you think. Purpose is not what it's not saying, oh, I think it's not about that.
I
You
think.
know,
Yeah.
like yeah, your own life, know. You can go and try a lot of good things.
Mm.
It will not work. Just like the fish is meant to swim. You don't need to tell a fish swim. You don't need to do that. Or you don't need to take a bird and tell him fly. And you ask him,
Mm.
how do you know you can fly? He will tell you, I be. I was born to. That's what I am. Purpose is not something that you discover. Purpose is who you are. Remember, I am who I
Mm.
am. I'm just
Mm.
opening a bracket here.
Mm.
I am who I am. Purpose is I am who you are. No,
Mm.
who you is. I prefer saying like that.
Who you
In
is?
the present tense because it doesn't change. And
Yeah,
it will
because
transcend you even in your death. So when you're gonna die in the temporal time, in chronos, in real time, you'll
mm,
still be alive in your purpose.
man,
Man, this thing,
there's so much I don't know. I'm telling you, like
uh,
the more I
this
told
thing,
you, like
and now
sometimes.
I'll even
Mm,
open another bracket here.
mm,
My friend,
yeah,
every
it's
human
true.
being, every
Mm,
human being was made in the image of God.
mm,
By image, it doesn't mean nose, head. That's not image.
purpose.
Image means in the meaning, in the significance, in the resemblance, in the structure of
Mm,
God. um, we're not. Hmm, I need to be careful what I'm saying because that's it, again. I told you that's things that I cannot say.
yeah, it's
But
true.
anyways, what I'm trying to say is that purpose is you. It is not a thing you do.
Mm,
It is not something. It is you. I am. That is your purpose. You don't say I am born to or have this. I am who I am. That is your purpose.
and you
And when you
remember,
discover that, you cannot
mm,
move.
you remember Moses, because like the way this spirit of purpose came to me is through the symbolization of Moses himself. You see, for example, what he represents. He represents that which comes from bad that turns into a weapon of meaning that can transform and actually bring life where
Mm-hmm.
life needs to be. So, for example, you see Moses, I see Moses not as figure or a part of you that wants to discover the meaning of life, that part of you that wants to discover and willing to stand up for what is right.
Mm-hmm.
But now, before you receive the purpose from the Creator, you might try to do your own things in regard to what you think is your purpose. Then you end up doing something bad. You remember what Moses did? Killed an
Mm-hmm.
Egyptian. What he did, he was standing up for someone, which was in alignment to what he was supposed to do. But it was a wrong thing to do. It was not just because he was supposed to do that, but the manner in which he did it was wrong. So now you have him talking to God, and God is saying, "Oh, I don't know how to speak." God say, "Don't you know I'm the one who created your mouth? I'll tell you what to speak." So what I understand from that is not because God is willing to actually, not even just Moses in this case, He
Mm-hmm.
is willing to, if you're willing to go through that which calls to you, that which appeals to you, and you're willing to engage in that, then there is good news. And if you're humble enough to recognize how dumb you are and how dumb you don't know, then you're gonna be used as a vessel.
Mm.
Now, which vessel? The vessel of actually transforming lives, because all the purpose goes through transformation. There is the element of transformation. You need to transform, not your own life. This transformation is big,
Mm-hmm.
bigger than me, bigger than you. So it's about finding that. And Moses actually did go through that, because purpose is not a one day thing. You might have an alignment with that in one day, but as you live through life, you discover more. You discover more to that, more to that, more to that. But now something contradicts with it. In Jesus' case, at 12 years old, he knew who he is. He was. But
Mm-hmm.
not everyone actually is able to do that. Because if you look at the figure of Moses was representing Christ to come. If you look at it in an archetypal sense. Like I see these figures very resembling because they are doing something that's similar but on a
Mm-hmm.
different scale. But now you see, maybe there might be that case that's different. There is, I believe, there are those who might be revealed to the purpose or be revealed for who they are in different ways through that which calls to you or through knowing who you are, then you know what it is you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact, this is what I believe, the fact that you are not as intelligent as you need to be to do that which is right or to do that which you need to do, it's not
Mm-hmm.
an excuse. It's not an excuse in this case. Because I believe, however your purpose is, however you received it, we have one role in this life. Speak and stand for what you believe is true. That's it. That's the whole point of the religion. That's how I understand it.
I have a small question. Let me play the devil's advocate.
Mm.
You said you have one thing to do. Speak for what you believe is true. I want to take
Mm.
an extreme example. Let's say I believe that my purpose is to kill all the children in my neighborhood.
Mm.
That's actually what I believe. I'm not like making this up. Like this is
Mm.
someone believes that, and they're not
Mm.
pretending.
Mm.
Should they stand for it, speak it,
Mm.
believe it, and execute it? What do you think?
No, but that's a moral problem. For example,
According
if
to
you
who? No, it, to them. I'll give it. Okay, maybe that's too extreme. Let me take a less extreme one. Let's say my purpose
Mm.
is in life is to be like Solomon. I was came to this earth to help all the single women and impregnate them. It's nice. It's kind. I just want to impregnate one
So
only
you,
a thousand women.
you came to increase the children of God
Yeah,
in
let's
the in
let's say
this
a
one.
country, right? They have low birth rates, right? And you
You're the
you
man to
you you
create.
you believe, like you genuinely believe.
Eh.
He believes that no, he said speak
Mm.
what you believe, So he
Mm.
believes that he will go to a country, just impregnate just a thousand women, and then he's good. What do you have to say about that?
That's. I'll say that.
It's good. He's producing life. I'm helping the society. It's about others, right? Just like you said, he's helping others.
But now that purpose to me doesn't sound like a deep purpose. You know what I'm saying? For example,
Mm-hmm.
I believe purpose, however it can be, it has two parts: the shallow part and the deepest part. So the deeper a
Mm-hmm.
purpose goes, the deeper the meaning it derives. For
Mm-hmm.
example, you can impregnate and get that country give them kids, same as another man can do that. But remember, purpose is specific to you and you alone. So if every man can go and impregnate every woman, that's not your purpose, buddy. It's time to
No,
change it.
no, and no. You cannot say it's another person. That his
No,
purpose is
no,
not his purpose.
I'm
No,
telling
no.
you.
You said
No, let's be
you
specific
have
to
the
the
belief.
example. To the example again. Like, okay, you gave me an example. You say you want to play devil's advocate. You want to go to the
Mm-hmm.
extreme. It's true. Yes, you have to
Mm-hmm.
impregnate all these women. No problem. I won't judge you. It's your purpose. But now I have to ask you: can I do
Mm-hmm.
the same thing as you? Of course I
What is
can.
that? Can
Can
you?
I? Can I? Of course I can.
Impregnate 1,000 women, you think it's easy?
I can. I
Can
can
you?
do
Can
it.
you do it?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Who can't do it? You can do it.
Me? I don't think I
So
can do it.
no, I'm telling you. Think about it.
Do you know how difficult it will be?
What do you mean difficult?
So you thought maybe the woman would just be there, like, oh, come on, impregnate me.
Mm,
Just like for example, gaining
mm,
wisdom or understanding.
mm, mm.
Remember when I said you're gonna, do you know how difficult it is to grow?
It's
Like
very hard
imagine to
actually.
be a master in every craft. Imagine to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Do
Mm.
you think it's given?
No, you have to work
So
for it.
when someone says, okay, like, so let's say someone says like,
Mm,
I want to be a super master in jiu-jitsu.
mm,
Eli, you're right. A lot of people can be masters in jiu-jitsu. You're right. But you
mm,
know that it's not it's very difficult. Do you
mm.
know how it's difficult to become a professor? Like a
It's very
man like
hard.
let's say Jordan Peterson. Do you know how difficult it is to read? I know people they read 2 books in a week. Do you know how difficult that is? To go to the gym every day? Try it. I used to go to try. Let me see how you feel. Keep a day
To go to
job,
the
have a
gym.
family
Mm,
every day, and I know have a family, have a day
mm,
job,
mm.
have a family, and go to the gym every day. Try it and read books. Try
And
it
read
and start a
books
business
and
and
start
try it.
and yeah.
So my point is that same thing that a lot of people can do.
Mm,
In fact, it looks like they can. Yeah, he's all right. It's like it's very difficult to be Elon Musk.
mm.
Very difficult to build SpaceX or Amazon. It
Yeah.
takes genius to be like Einstein. Of course, everyone has a brain.
Yeah.
Everyone can be Usain Bolt and run fast, but you know the training that he's been doing. So to impregnate 1,000 women,
Mm.
it's not just you have to. There's a lot of things that will have come into play.
No, for me, like you say, like for example, you have to go in a country. For example, this is a hypothetical example. Like I was saying, okay, you have to impregnate 1,000 women. In a real sense, you can, and everyone can. For example, you can put in the effort, and you can get them. If that's your purpose, which means you're gonna work at it, then you can do
Mm-hmm.
it. You see what I'm meaning? Like it's not because it's like, for example, something Jesus did or something Moses did. That's
Mm-hmm.
very. It's that thing that you are the last man standing. You are the option, not meaning you are the only one, but in that case, you are suitable for the job, and no one else is. But you can still, you yourself are capable to go and impregnate those women, and you can if you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can, because if you can sleep with 10 women in a month, so which means in a matter of 100 months, you can you can have just impregnated how many? 1,000, as you said, and that's your life's purpose. And 10 months is like 100 months is not. I mean, it's 100 months is not. How many is 100 months? Something like 8 months. No, 9 years. How long is it?
Mm-hmm.
Something like 8 to 9 years or 10. I don't know. My math is not coming very well. Something close to that. You see, you can do it. But
Mm-hmm.
now, for example, in a sense, the journey that these figures did go through, it's something that's unique and something that's very, very difficult. And you find that the purpose is going to be unique to you. Like, it's something that's unique. It's specific to you and it's unique to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that you're the only person, like, you're going to do it and it's very unique. For example, you've seen throughout history, we have had great thinkers. And thinking is not something new. But why do we have Einstein, great thinker, and we have Nietzsche, a great philosopher? They're all great thinkers, and you end up having Socrates, you have Alexandra, you have all these great figures, and all of them they're thinking, and what they did
Mm-hmm.
is actually unique to them. For example, if you don't have Socrates, a lot of things will be missing. If you don't have Nietzsche, some things will be wrong. You see what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? If you don't have Einstein, some things will be lacking. So, which means is that it's something that's specific to you, and without it, something is wrong or something is missing. That is
Okay,
my
boss
point.
man. And I have to go soon. I was planning to talk to you for 30 minutes. You see, us, we always talk for 2 hours.
Man, I tell you, and the
Yeah.
same thing here. Yeah, man, actually, that's a very good place to end, man. I think.